All right, welcome back, everybody, to the Sammy's and Beer podcast, live here on a special edition of a Tuesday podcast. I think it's Tuesday anyway.
It feels like it.
We're going to go with that. So, welcome to the Tuesday edition of the Sammy's and Beer podcast, live here on Twitch and also on YouTube, streaming sometime later on Apple Podcasts. We thank you all so much for joining us. I am one of your hosts. My name is Matthew.
Bartholomew, actually. That's your original first name, your legal name.
It's not. It's not.
Legally.
Matthew is.
Bartholomew, yeah. That's what I said.
So, and with me is my forever young Tomas Rinco.
Am I forever young? I'm feeling my age, actually.
Forever young.
Recently.
I want to be forever young.
I've been really, I don't know, getting old. My knees feel it.
Did you spend all day yesterday drinking?
Yeah.
Okay, how many old people do you know that spend all day drinking?
I know one that can.
You know one that can, not one that does. It's funny because you're pointing to the wrong screen on mine.
We've done it before. We've done it.
Not really.
Camping.
Maybe had a few beers here and there, but not day drinking.
No, yeah, we were in the sun all day. We weren't trying to be stupid.
Yeah, I don't like to drink that much in front of my kids.
That's fair too.
I'll drink some, like especially on like vacation or like camping and stuff, but I don't drink a ton in front of my kids. I mean, I'll have a beer here and there, but
An orange beer specifically.
Whatever color it is, orange, red,
Green. St. Patty's Day. No, yeah.
So
I did lightly yesterday. It wasn't too much. It was definitely more than I should have.
Today, it wasn't that light.
What?
If you were hungover today, it wasn't light.
I went a little hard in the paint at night, but then I went to sleep when we got off. So yeah. I mean, like I really didn't go too crazy, and I slept for 12 hours. So
it's a lot of sleep.
It was so nice. My fucking body hurt though because I was just laying too long.
I get that. I'm glad to know that it's not just me. Like you wake up and you're like, why is my back hurt so much? Oh yeah, because I just didn't move for way too long.
So it happens. We're gonna do our shots here in a sec. I don't have a glass. So
it's actually funny that you brought up my first name. I said first name. Had a lisp. I thought it was kind of interesting at the funerals that we've been to this last year, the Catholic side of both my grandparents. The pastors like to, tell the family. They said they like to tell the family something they didn't know, and they're like, and how am I going to do that? So they like to relate days to the saints that day is for, which it was really interesting was for my grandpa. He brought up Saint Anthony, which my brother's legal first name is Anthony. Really fucked up. His name is Anthony James, but he goes by TJ. So they shortened the A, Anthony, to Tony. Go by Tony James. Or TJ.
I mean...
And then he did one by Matthew. Then he's St. Matthew and St. Anthony. And I was like, I asked him afterwards, I'm like, did you plan that? And he's like, no, what do you mean?
There's a lot of saints, though. If you have any sort of biblical name, you have a saint. There's a fuck ton of them.
That's crazy.
They're like the fucking MCU of Catholics. I'm not even kidding. Like that's how many there fucking are. It's ridiculous. There's a lot of really cool ones. There's a lot of really ones. You know what I mean?
I only know. I mean, obviously you know the major one, the Saint Christopher and Saint Michael and
again
Saint Matthew.
All names of apostles, all biblical names. You have a biblical name,
yes.
You have a saint. It's just kind of going to be. Now it was weird that it's related to those days. That's a specific thing, which is really cool. But yeah, they're everywhere. There's so fucking many of them. There's even new ones being added.
Yeah, Saint Teresa.
Well, yeah.
Or Mother Teresa.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
she was made a saint.
There's a few of them who have been made saints in our lifetime already. So it's interesting.
Oh, really?
I think so. I'm pretty sure.
That's the only one I know of.
It's really interesting. It's really cool. We're expanding our Catholic cinematic universe. It's something.
Well, yeah, I mean, when Iron Man dies, you don't just let Iron Man die. You got to have somebody to replace him.
They have done a shit job on doing that. The movies have sucked. They haven't sucked. They just haven't been as good.
Well, there was like, it's kind of going back to what it was before. Like you got into like the last 3 years of the movies. You know, where it wasn't. I mean, they were movies, and it built and built over years to get to that point.
Just not as good, in my opinion. But that's also because there hasn't been another Spider-Man, and
There has been.
Well, besides
that's like one of the only ones that there has been of.
Yeah, but it's
another
not
Spider-Man and another Thor.
It's not relevant anymore. It's all Doctor Strange
that you know of.
And they're going like the Doctor. Well, Tom Holland specifically said he's going to start a family, so he doesn't want to be in movies that much right now.
Well, yeah, but then his girlfriend is like doing everything.
Yeah,
so.
she's being a big in. Speaking of dirty sluts, virgin olive oil makes it so that there has to be a dirty slut olive oil, and I want it, like, really bad.
Okay.
I don't know why it's called virgin olive oil. That's where I was getting at. I really don't.
Or extra virgin olive oil.
Yeah, like whatever.
You think extra virgin olive oil was like a C-section born olive oil?
Ew.
It's never touched a vagina.
It's never been near.
Extra virgin.
Jesus. Hasn't even looked at one.
Nope.
So today we're gonna bullshit, but I did want to talk about confidence and how important it is, and a couple of personal anecdotes. But before then, we need to drink because I am tired and I could use a beverage. Ooh, you got a moving shadow over there.
Mm-hmm. One snuck in before I closed my door.
Mine's passed out on here too.
And of course, he burps every time he comes and stands. Every single time.
It's weird.
Burps or sneezes.
Well, the sneezing is a sign of non-aggression from dogs.
All right.
You can go first.
Do you want to go first, or do you want me to?
I want you to go first.
You want me to go first? Okay. Should I do a good one or a bad one?
You can do whatever you want. Ugh. Oh yeah.
This, we're gonna go positive with it, and this is gonna go to all the people who know how to properly conduct themselves at kids' sporting events, because we all know that there's several parents out there who don't know how to conduct themselves, and they do extremely rude and inappropriate things and yell at people and yell at their kids, and nobody wins with that. So if you're a decent human being and you are there for your children in an appropriate way, cheers to you.
Good job being the standard. Meeting the standard.
There's plenty that don't meet the standard.
That's what I have found in my professional career, that there is a lot of people who do not meet the standard in a lot of things. So you meet the standard and you get praised for it. It's like,
well, you don't though, because there's a lot of people who meet the standard and don't feel like they're succeeding. Don't feel like they're not doing enough, and those people need to know that they are doing enough by being there and not being a fucking douchebag.
You are enough.
That's doing enough.
You are enough.
And there's some that are going to go above and beyond. There's some that are going to do more. And like that's even been hard for me with wrestling this year, is I don't know wrestling. I don't know the sport. I don't know the moves. I know nothing about it. But I also like to be involved with what my kids are doing. So it's been really hard not to be out there trying to help, because I'm probably hurting them more than I'm helping them, because I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah, that's true. But at least you're present.
I'm there. I'm at practice.
That's half the battle, my friend.
So,
Well, if yours was positive, mine will be a negative. This one goes out to all the people, and specifically in Texas, who don't know how to drive when there's ice on the roads, right? Fucking stop it. In the county that I worked for, I think there was 12 rollovers in one day, mostly on the same spot. So get off the fucking roads. If you know don't know how to drive in it, just don't go anywhere. It's fine. You're going to be okay. Everything was shut down anyways. Go fuck yourself.
It's amazing how many people, like, when they advise no travel, how many people get out and travel in it.
Specifically go, like, well, I need ravioli.
You know what the funniest part is that I found?
What?
I don't think it's the people that have enough money that are the ones out in it. It's the people that drive a 1982 fucking Chevy Lumina that fucking dies in the middle of the street because they haven't changed the battery in 19 years.
Oh, yeah.
And then they're fucking pissed off, like, oh, I've got the worst fucking luck ever. No, you shouldn't have been out in this.
It's just a fucking idiot.
You know who it's okay for to be out in this? The guy with the 2022 fucking new vehicle. Because if something goes wrong, he can afford to fucking call you to come fix it in your work truck.
Yeah. It's... People are dumb, is what I've realized. And that small town mentality, too, is rough. So there's a lot of entitlement.
Try that in a small town. Try that in a small town.
I would die if someone told me they love Goliad, Texas more than they love me. I'd fucking die. It's like a shithole.
More than they love you?
Yeah, that's a thing. It's like, can't love her more than a small town. I love my small town. Or something like that. I'm just like, or Lavernia, Texas. Like any of these small towns. I'm like, get the fuck out of here. This shit's not okay. But,
I learned a new thing today.
What'd you learn?
Just speaking of small towns, it made me think of this. Maybe not small towns, but Costco has an app, and on their app it has a store locator, and it shows the price of gas at every Costco. So I was just scrolling down, like Frisco, Texas is like 80 cents cheaper than what you can get gas in Sioux Falls, South Dakota for.
And it depends. So in Texas, too, it depends on where you're getting gas. Because if you're going to the valley, there's a gas station, like 120-mile gap, and then another gas station. And both of those gas stations are incredibly expensive. The ones in the towns 5 minutes before then, super cheap.
Yeah, it's supply and demand.
So it's gas is pretty cheap down here.
It's kind of like the gas station in the Hills Have Eyes.
Yes. You should check the price of gas in Hawaii.
Oh, everything's ridiculous in Hawaii.
I think it's like $10 a gallon, something stupid like that right now.
Like milk is like $10 a gallon. And maybe even more than that.
What are you going to do? Drive or drink milk? There's a right answer, because milk is for cows and for babies. Are you a baby or a cow?
Milk? No, that's not correct at all.
Milk is for cows.
Milk is for people.
Milk is for cows and babies.
No.
Yeah.
Grown adult cows don't drink milk.
Baby cows do.
Yeah, those are called calves.
It's still a cow. Still under the
It's not.
general...
It's not. Those are calves.
So you're not a person? You're an adult?
If I were
You're not a human? You're an adult?
If there was a baby there, would you be like, oh, look at that man? Or look at that woman?
Look at that human is what we're talking about, not cow.
Have you ever said that? Have you ever walked in and been like, oh, that's a baby human?
You know that I have.
Only because the kid was fucking ugly, because all babies are ugly.
All babies are so ugly.
But you walk in and you're like, oh, that's a calf.
That is a small human.
You don't walk in and be like, oh, is that a baby cow?
I definitely
Everybody would be like, you're a fucking idiot.
I would say baby cow before I said calf.
Oh, so you didn't just call it a regular cow?
It's still a cow.
Got him.
Oh, is that it?
Got him.
Oh, I want to go fishing. I started a new tradition with my brother.
Yeah? One finger or what?
Every Wednesday, if we're both off of work, we go down to the local bar because they have free pool on Wednesdays. We play pool for about an hour and a half.
Oh, okay.
So we're doing it tomorrow. We started it last week. We're doing it this week, and then now. I don't know. It's partially kind of due to like your relationship with your brother that I see, right? And like how I'm always blowing off my brother consistently, and it's like there's no reason that my brother's not an asshole. You know what I mean? He's actually a really great guy. I like hanging out with him. I like playing games with him and stuff. It's just I'm so used to just saying no all the time to when anyone asks me to go out and do anything. So I'm trying to stop that, and it starts with shooting pool with my brother at a really seedy I mean, it looks really bad. I'll send you some pictures. It's fucking gross.
Some of those are the best places to go to.
It was nice. The fucking bartender knows him by name. Of course she does. But, I mean, we get discounted beer and we're just shooting pool, drinking beer.
If they're a half-decent bartender, they should know people by name with 2 or 3 times of going. We've been going to the same fucking sushi place for 6 months, and they still don't know who we are.
Well, you're in the city, though. This is a small town.
We go there once a week.
That's a lot of sushi.
Every week.
It's a lot of fish, which is good for you.
A lot of months.
Really good for you, so.
Well, it just worked out well because my wife likes the hibachi grill, and I get sushi.
That yakisoba, baby.
Although I tried their lunchbox.
The bento boxes are never worth it.
Yeah, I don't know what a bento box, but it was like teriyaki chicken over rice, and then I did get some fried gyoza, which I always like.
I like steamed dumplings.
California roll.
California rolls are nothing. They're not sushi.
California, they're gross.
Yeah, it's not sushi.
Yeah.
Although
that's why I just wasn't in the mood for sushi this last time we were there, and I wanted to try something different. And then they gave me it was super weird. They gave me battered fried broccoli, battered fried carrots, like a carrot slice, and either zucchini or cucumber slice.
I have had the tempura zucchini and carrot. I've never had it with broccoli, though.
It was probably tempura, which is just a batter and fried.
It's just a panko batter. That's all it is.
No, this wasn't panko.
Huh.
This is more of a liquid batter that really coats.
I like that. I like the sound of that.
You ever know the difference?
If you've never had breaded deep fried green beans, you've never lived. That shit hit. I mean, not healthy for you at all, but...
No. Well, they're still green beans, so it's a little healthy.
The whole thing is fried pickles are delicious.
Better than a fried Oreo.
That's true. Fried pickles are delicious, but there comes a point where it's too much pickle, right? I just can't do any more vinegar, too much pickle.
Yeah.
The fried green beans didn't have that issue because the green beans were just so middle of the ground, middle of the earth, right? You can eat a fuck ton, and I eat a fuck ton of them. H-E-B sells them frozen. You just throw them in the air fryer, and they're fucking delicious.
Air fryers have changed the world.
Oh my god, yeah. I don't eat anything that's not in the air fryer. I don't microwave anything.
Garbage. Well, there's one thing you have to microwave still. Popcorn.
I make it on the stove like a human.
You make popcorn on the stove?
Yeah.
What is wrong with
What's wrong with you? It's cheaper. And you can put your own flavors in it.
God, you're so stupid.
No.
Put your own flavors in it. Yeah. Are we going to go back to the steak-flavored popcorn?
Yeah, put steak seasoning on popcorn and you'll fucking never eat it any other way ever again.
I don't want steak flavored on popcorn. If I wanted steak, I would eat a steak.
This is delicious. Brisket, chicken, all those seasonings, you just throw that on popcorn and it makes it taste super tasty and delicious.
Butter and salt is what belong on popcorn. I don't even like sugar. I don't even like kettle corn.
I don't like kettle corn. I don't like sugary popcorn. It gets gross. But caramel corn when I'm in the mood.
Ooh, caramel corn. The Costco caramel and cheese popcorn. Call it Chicago style.
Sorry, I just eat my popcorn doggy style. So anyways, today we were... Okay. We were going to talk about confidence. So,
it's hard when I know things that I can't comment on.
That's true. We're talking about confidence. So a big thing for me, right? Let me throw this out there. I have learned that confidence is one of the most important things on the planet, right? So a big thing for me is my identity was tied to flying and medicine, right? That was a big portion of my life. I trained really hard for a really long time to be successful at it. I am successful at it now, but there was that period of time where I couldn't fly, right? Because I was injured. And I didn't realize how much that took a hit of my confidence until I'm back to flying. Holy shit. Like, and that was the big thing when I was doing my requal, that I was told, like, you don't have any confidence. You need to build yourself back up. You need to do this, you need to do that. And I just fucking couldn't. Like, there's just nothing I could do. I felt like I was confident, but I apparently outwardly, and I could see it now, I wasn't. I was being a big old fucking weenie about everything. It affected my daily life, like going out, doing things, saying things, giving advice. Just, it affected every portion of my life that I wasn't confident. And I wanted to talk about that. Like, I don't know what your opinions are of confidence, but ever since I started flying again, I'm back in position, I'm back in the seat, I feel 10 times better. I'm 10 times busier, but holy shit. You feel like the last year of my life wasn't wasted, but that I was just kind of a big fucking pussy the whole time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, there's so much of your life that revolves around being confident that most people never actually realize. Like you said, right now you said your confidence revolves around your flying.
Yes.
And doing that. But that's such a small part of your life.
Yeah.
Like you say, like I know you say it's a big part of your life. Like, but how big of a part of your life is that actually?
I think it was everything I did for like 5 years straight. You know what I mean?
Everything?
Yeah, I didn't have any other jobs. I wasn't in school. Like, I would wake up, do that, and go drinking, go to sleep. And for years I would do that when I was on orders.
Drinking was a big part of your life.
Yeah, it was really bad. That was super bad.
So you can't say that it was just the flying then. I mean, because you have. It's just what you were the most proud of.
Yeah, that too.
I mean, because you've said in the past, like, you know how to code.
Run a code?
No. Code.
Yeah.
Like coding.
Yeah. Java.
Hello,
which is
O's dog.
Which is useless now, but yeah.
Say hello. Say hello to Tyler.
Hello. I have some skills besides. Nothing that I can, like, really put out there, though. Like, I don't know. I can't make a video game, you know.
We got a prime sub. We got a prime sub.
Oh, shit. Thanks,
Big
buddy.
deal.
That is a big deal. I think it's the first one.
I think that... no, Grant subbed. Grant subbed when he was on.
Did he?
Yep. So, that's our second. But I think our first prime one.
Ooh.
So, we appreciate you.
We do. I don't know. I feel better now. Is what I was getting at.
And I don't want to take away from it, but I want you to look at all the other things that you have that you could be proud of, that you could have confidence in, that you should have confidence in. What?
I'm a good cook.
Okay.
I'm just trying to think of other things that I do. Everything else that I do falls into the line of the military or medicine, which all stem from flying. I mean, we have hobbies, but I don't have, like, important hobbies. Yeah, I learned how to code. I learned how to code in high school, right? How much of that has changed now? I don't even think we use Java anymore. You know,
I don't know. I know nothing about that.
I don't know a lot about vehicles, but my girlfriend does, so I don't have to.
How much do you work on improving a skill?
Does getting good at Fortnite count?
No.
No, not a lot of time. There was that time period where I really focused in on cooking. I wanted to learn how to cook So I like to think I'm actually a really good cook. I cook all the meals at the station. Everyone really loves it, appreciates it. They fucking tear it up. So that's something.
Dog, you're always welcome to join us on Fortnite.
Oh yeah, just whenever we're on. Just join.
You never had. Yeah, we're there. We're really bad, so.
Oh yeah, you're gonna get easy lobbies.
Yeah.
It's super bad.
But it's amazing how many people don't like if I asked you what's your goal, right? What do you have for a goal?
My short-term goal is to buy a house.
Okay. What are you doing to buy a house?
Right now I'm saving money. I'm actually saving a lot of money. I looked at my bank statement today. All my bills are paid, and in the past few months I've saved $5,000.
That's good.
I haven't. You've seen it. We haven't bought video games. I don't go out. I had stopped eating out when I was at work, so I bring food to eat. Like I cut a lot of stuff out of my life. I canceled subscriptions. I kept Peacock for you, but I canceled subscriptions. I just trimmed down as much of that as I could. So I've saved a decent amount of money. I want to save more so that I can. Maybe not even just the down payment, but like appliances, washer, dryer, refrigerator.
Are you buying a house or renting?
I want to rent a house, but it also kind of depends on a couple other things and how the market's looking, and because I don't have to do a down payment with the loan that I get for the VA.
Well, but what I'm saying is you need to as somebody who hasn't had a plan. You need to figure out what your plan is and start taking steps to do it, because otherwise you're going to blink and it's going to be 10 years from now and you're not going to have done any of the things that you wanted to within your plan. You're not going to have a house. You're going to be renting a house still.
Probably.
And you don't want to be 39 and renting a house. You don't. I'll be honest with you. You want to have a retirement at that point. I see some of my friends that I talk to, and I'm so far behind. And not that I need to be where they're at, because you shouldn't compare yourself to other people in their lives. But you can also focus on you and what you want to do, and focus on being successful in your life, because we all have different definitions of success. And that definition of success is going to change throughout your life. One of my goals is always wanted to spend a lot of time with my family, which I spend a lot of time with my family. And my career and things like that have suffered for it, which I've been completely fine with. But now that my kids are getting older, I also want to be able to give them cool experiences, cool stuff. And I want to be able to take my wife on nice vacations, to warm places in the middle of winter. And for a long time, I wasn't able to afford that. And I accepted how I was doing things, but now there's ways that you can do that stuff.
Yeah.
And having the confidence in yourself to set a plan and work towards it.
Okay. Well, so when it comes to retirement, funnily enough, I'm actually ahead of the curve on that one. Weirdly enough, I saw my dad and how he did the whole military thing, right? And I saw how successful that made him. So I max out my TSP every year with the military. When I retire with the military, I get my full retirement, right? That's 2. And then whenever I work somewhere, I use their retirement. So right now I have a retirement, a matched 401k with Goliad, which won't last, but I transferred that over from the hospital, transfer all the money and put it in there. So I'm keeping track of it. I want to make money when I'm retired.
Well, just looking at my grandparents. My grandmother was a teacher. And my grandfather was, never anything crazy. He worked at IBM. He worked at IBM back in the day. I remember him bitching, or I remember him telling stories of people bitching when he was at IBM and they told you couldn't smoke at your desk anymore and you had to go smoke in the break room, and everybody was
inside
pissed off.
Still.
Oh, still inside. You just had to go to the break room and smoke. Because he said people would just sit at their desk and smoke cigarettes all fucking day.
Jesus Christ.
And then,
when they told
he worked there,
I had to stop drinking and driving. Have you seen that?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, I found out. You know what the legal drinking and driving blood alcohol used to be
What?
when they first introduced drinking and driving? Just take a guess. What do you think it was legal to drink and drive at?
0.14.
0.16.
Jesus Christ!
So if you blew below a 0.16, you were fine.
If you blew above a 0.16, you were dead. Like, what? you weren't drinking and driving because you weren't functioning.
To my grandpa tell stories, like, he's like, oh, and then he justified. He's like 0.16. He's like, you go sit and have like 2 or 3 drinks, and he goes, and you're blowing a 0.16. And he's like, you're feeling fine. And I'm like, I'm not feeling fine if I go have 3 drinks at a bar and fucking haven't eaten them.
Yeah.
No.
You're blowing a 0.16. What are you drinking? Fucking diesel? Like, Jesus Christ.
But he said the record that he ever saw, like somebody blew like a 0.64 or something like that.
Jesus Christ.
And he said they were in a coma and in or out, and he doesn't remember if they lived, but they were a
Probably
severe
not.
raging alcoholic.
Which, that is the thing. Raging alcoholics will sit at a higher percentage and be okay.
Yeah. I mean, their straight line of normal is 0.2.
Probably. I've seen it. I have a grandpa he's an alcoholic. But at this point, it's like, you're in your 80s, man. He's not mean when he's drunk, so fuck it.
Yeah. As long as you don't get mean and you don't drive.
Yeah, no, he's good. I'm more worried about him driving sober, I think, because he's just so fucking old. So, no, and the big thing that I wanted short term is I want a hobby. I don't have a hobby, right? My hobby right now is this and playing video games. Those are the things that I do to decompress and de-stress myself. But I kind of want something that gives me something physically. So, like, I don't know.
Well, decompressing and the podcast are not hobbies. These are just things that we do. Like like a hobby is something that like it's relaxing, but at the exact same time it's not. Like it's something that I think it's something that that entertains you and you put a lot of energy to.
I do that for video games, I suppose.
Yeah. Which video games I think are definitely a hobby, but I know a lot of people like to go fishing or ice fishing. I like fishing. I don't know if I'd consider it a hobby because I don't know if it would be a hobby for me because, like people who, I have a buddy who, that's all he does is go fishing.
Just like a threshold, right, of money and energy spent, and then it's a hobby.
Yeah. But there's things, you can do silly little hobbies. Like you could get a 3D printer and 3D print objects and paint them,
I was actually looking into making fruit wine.
Yeah.
I have a buddy at the station who makes mead, and I was super hesitant to try it because I'm like, I don't want to taste your stinky mead. And then I tried it, and it was really fucking good. One of them wasn't, and I told him one of them was not it, but the second one was actually really tasty. And I'm like, I could do this. He showed me how he did it. It's not hard, and it's not complicated.
No.
So I think I'm going to pick up that. But because like for a while there, cooking was my hobby. I learned all about the fucking cooking process and the Maillard reaction and fucking how to properly chop vegetables and, all that stuff. And it was really fun. It was really cool. Now I have a really nice skill. I can cook with very minimal ingredients and kind of wing it and make it taste okay. But now I'm done because it's either this or go even further beyond, and I just don't want to do that. Like I'm sad. Like I know how to cook. Good to go. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Fixing cars is. Ozdog said that he likes to work on cars as his hobby, which working on cars can definitely be a hobby, but fixing like your wife's car, for me, that becomes more of a chore. And I'm like, fuck you, I don't want to go change the brakes in your car. I'd rather pay somebody to do it.
And it's expensive.
Even though I know how. But fixing a car and paying somebody to fix it, Yeah, to me, if I had the money, I would easily pay somebody to not have to work.
There's a lot of things that I
know.
would easily pay someone to do, so I don't have to do them.
Yeah, but sometimes cooking, like, I don't think that there's times where I go to a restaurant, like with ribs. Ribs is a key example. There is nowhere that I go to get ribs that I feel that they make a better rib than I do.
Because you get to make it the way you want to as well. You know, you make it taste the way you want it to taste.
Well, but I get to make it taste the way I want it to, but I also, like, it's made specifically for me. Versus, you know, when you go to a restaurant, a rib takes 12 hours. It's not like they're calling me and being like, hey, we're going to have ribs ready or 6 hours, excuse me. It's like they're calling me and be like, hey, we're going to have ribs ready in 6 hours. Does 7:30 work for you tonight? You know?
Mm-hmm.
And so that's where it's the timing and, you know, just going through that process is a lot different because, you know, you get ribs at different places and it's just a lot different. You know, it's cooking a steak is one thing. You can cook a steak in
10 minutes.
10 minutes. You can't smoke brisket, you know, so then you're getting it warmer or, you know, things along those lines. Which brisket's different too, but ribs, I find ribs are probably the hardest one.
I don't know. I specifically don't eat barbecue out. I just don't.
I don't either, for that reason.
Yeah.
Because I think mine's better.
And cheaper, overall.
Mm-hmm.
Barbecue's so fucking expensive. I know, I don't think mine's better, but my dad and my uncle both are really good at smoking just about anything. So, and Holly's dad too. Holly's mom too. Like, it's just, I'm not going to go out and pay money for this when I can eat it and know it tastes better.
Yeah.
Except for Franklin's. I did spend money on Franklin's, and that was some good shit. I will say. That was fucking amazing. But, I don't know. I want a hobby. Maybe I'm going to work on metal. Maybe I'll make little roosters, you know?
Yeah. That's a spendy hobby, though. Like, you have to get metal.
Problem.
You have to have, like, a grinder. You have to have stuff to cut it. Like, I like to build. I enjoy building stuff with wood. Like, I really like woodwork.
You look like you like wood.
And I've gone and I've got tools to do it. But even having tools, it's still expensive. Buying the lumber and, you know, things like that. And, yeah, it's not a cheap hobby.
None of them are.
No.
I guess reading has been a hobby of mine I've had since I was a kid too. It's not something you can get super good at though. Like,
No.
it's like watching TV. You know what I mean? Like, so I don't know. I'll find something, I'm sure. Right now, I'm just trying not to spend money. So I'm being very choosy on what I go to do. Like the fucking pool Wednesday pool nights, I'll spend $10 on beer the whole time, and the pool's free. You know what I mean? So I'm trying to find something. I really don't know what I'm looking for is also the issue.
Could become a puzzler.
I'd rather die.
Together.
I'd rather fucking die.
Not a fan of puzzles?
Nope, I hate them.
No.
Whenever I see my family doing one when I was a kid, I'd take a piece. Every day I'd take another piece.
Dick. You need to start a family and have time for a hobby.
Well, that too. I just need a house first. And we're good to go. Because you're right. I mean, there's a big portion of me that I know that's going to go away once I start having kids because it's just not going to have the time. And that's okay. I'm excited, right? I know it's going to suck. Not that it's going to suck. It's going to be really hard. But I'm excited. Like,
Yeah.
I think it's going to be really fun. I've seen you and your family and my brother and his and all of my friends having kids, and I'm like, looks rough, but ultimately rewarding.
There's rough times. There's rough times with everything. Bowling is a different hobby. I bowled in a league for a couple years. Ozdog said that he.
Of course you did, because you're old.
Picked up bowling. Yeah, actually, I got into it because of my father, and he started it with a couple of his buddies, and it was. Oh, those bowling leagues are so fucking long. Like, they would start at like the end of September and go through May.
Damn. That's a lot of time. I don't like bowling.
And it was every week. I don't mind bowling, but
there's nothing about bowling that interests me. I played it on the Wii. I beat it. I'm good.
Well, that's a lot different than actually being in a bowling.
I would rather, and I did think about picking up intramural sports later on.
That's what you should start. You should start betting on sports. I've considered that as a hobby.
I'm not going to do
start.
That.
I want to start watching college football and learning how to bet on it, and so I can try to start making money. Or we could learn how to become day traders.
I have a buddy whose dad does that. That's all he does.
Does he?
Yep, all he does, and he sent his son to Harvard.
See,
I remember like staying at their house. He'd wake up every single day at 9:00, go into his room for a few hours. You just hear typing on the keyboard and phone calls, and then at like 1:30 he's done for the day. He's like, "Hey,
phone calls." Maybe I suppose back when you were a kid and you didn't have all the internet options now.
Probably. He's like, "Hey, honey, we made this amount of money today." She's like, "Oh, sweet." He applied for Harvard.
I don't think any of that's true. Like, honey, we made this much today. I don't think any of that actually happened when we were there.
I'm not the phone call, but I do remember him
being in a married relationship. There is no way that he walked out and was like, unless he had like a stellar day, and he's like, I made a trade today and I did this, and he gave like an extremely large specific number. He wasn't coming out and giving daily reports to his wife. Because if he was, you should have punched him in the face because he wasn't a man. He was the fucking.
He was the lady. But they lived in Nebraska. They had a nice house, so
yeah.
That's all he did all day.
Softball in the summer. Is it beer league softball?
I'm not allowed to legally hold a bat around people in the state of Texas anymore.
I'll take 2 drinks for you. You're not allowed to legally hold a bat around people in Texas anymore.
That is another joke.
1.5 years sober. Congrats, buddy.
It's actually really cool. That actually is really cool. One day I'll be like you when I have kids.
I still play volleyball too.
I did think about like, because we have a sand volleyball team here in Texas, in the town I live in.
In Texas, like the whole state has one sand
one team,
and they play the team from Louisiana.
No, we play the Mexico team, obviously. Because I tried thinking about intramural soccer, and I just don't want to run that much. I just don't want to.
Quit being a lazy pile of shit.
I run for work. I'm fine.
I do not run for work.
I have to PT test once a year.
Yeah, I've seen you train for it for like 6 weeks, and then you're done.
Yeah. That's more running than you've done.
Oh, no, I ran today.
You did not.
I did.
You did not. You're lying.
I ran a full lap at 6 miles per hour on the treadmill.
Is a full lap quarter of a mile?
Quarter mile.
Gotta start somewhere.
Exactly. Like I was about fucking dead after running 1 lap. And granted, I had been walking during meetings and stuff at work, so I had actually walked for like almost an hour. And then I ran 1 lap at the end. Just I'm like, I need to get the heart rate going. Let's get some moving. Because I'm actually working towards that. That's my hobby right now, is getting myself into good shape.
I think I've got one more go around the sun to get in good shape. I lost a lot of weight, so I think I need to do the same thing, start lifting, get into really good shape just one last time before I hit 30.
Well, but I think if you just maintain a good shape and work out, like you want to work out several.
At least 4 times a week.
I'd say 3. 3 workouts, and then like hitting steps every day, like going for walks like 4 or 5 times a week.
Okay.
But it's just, you get to a certain age and you're like, it makes it so much harder to get back into shape. Like you have the confidence because you're like, I used to be able to do this, I should be able to do it just fine. And yeah, you cannot.
You cannot be just fine.
My legs actually are the things that hurt the most for me.
Mm-hmm.
My calves cramp up.
I don't think I've ever had a calf cramp.
They're carrying 250 pounds of fucking sweet man child.
Sweet man candy. You little
And
chocolate drop you.
yes, Ozdog, I have also gotten plenty of workouts in the last 2 weeks with shoveling the 10 inches of snow. Well, use a snowblower, but it's still a fucking lot. It's nowhere near shoveling.
I'm thinking about getting a stationary bike.
You should get a rower.
No. Hate rowing.
You hate
I
rowing.
hate it.
Something in your genes brings
Doesn't
back the negativeness of it.
fucking like it. Is that why I didn't like the hurdles in track 2? Whatever.
Reminded you of I figured that would have been the high jump.
So I've been thinking about a stationary bike because a lot of the ladies at my unit use the stationary bike, use the Peloton, right? But none of them actually have a Peloton. They don't have that bike.
No.
They have a stationary
Yeah, you
bike
should.
that they bought that for like $100, and then they have an iPad attached to the bike with the fucking classes right there for you.
Yeah. Yeah, because Pelotons are like $1,800
Yeah.
for the same thing.
Yeah, which and I said that because Holly specifically has been like, we pulled her bike out of storage, so because she wants to like start riding a bike, right? Like she wants to get in better shape too, and she's like, this is a good way for me to do it. And I'm like, well, if I could just get us a stationary bike, I think she'd be happier.
Yeah.
So
That's what when I was walking today on the treadmill, I was watching The Price is Right. And then I was in a meeting.
the price is right.
The Price is Right is so good.
Have you seen the new TED TV show?
No.
Oh, it's so good.
Is it?
It's
You were talking about it yesterday.
It's so stupid, but it's good. I mean, it's Seth MacFarlane, like,
Yeah.
but still, like, it's think of what that Star Trek show that he did, the Orville.
The Orville.
They do this the
I liked
same
Orville.
humor.
I was mad that they got rid of that.
It's the same humor, just with Ted the teddy bear, you know.
Yeah. I don't know. I didn't know how good it was going to be without Mark Wahlberg. Because let's be honest, Mark Wahlberg is a national
Oh,
treasure.
he is,
And
but
he can do whatever he wants.
young
There
Mark
is
Wahlberg is
no-
cool. He's doing a good job.
There is nothing he can't play.
Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch. You're right.
Yeah. Like name a sport that Marky Mark wants to play, and he's probably already done a movie about it.
Probably he did that Invincible, right, with the Eagles.
The football movie.
Yeah, I remember
Which
that.
is based off of a true story.
Yes.
He also did the boxing movie with what was his name? His brother was the fucking crackhead.
No, you lost me.
Oh,
Listen, it doesn't matter because no one will ever beat Kevin James, and Here Comes the Boom.
James.
It's such a good movie.
It really was.
And did you know? So they got him a pulley for that scene where he picked up the Russian and slammed him on the ground.
Huh?
But like he was like, to prove his point that he was strong, he picked up the same amount of weight over his shoulder and threw it on the ground, just so we're clear, and then shot the rest of the movie. Which was such a like a big dick move, totally unnecessary. But I mean, I get it. He has this like persona and this stigma about him. He's just like a soft man. He apparently is like stupid strong, like Down syndrome strong.
I don't know if he's done a baseball movie, but nobody really likes baseball movies. So
Everyone likes baseball movies. No one just likes baseball. Baseball's boring.
who likes baseball movies?
The Sandlot,
Okay, that was made in the 90s.
Field of Dreams.
Also the 90s.
Oh, okay. Trouble with the Curve.
Okay.
That-
Name the actors in that.
Obviously, you had old man himself, fucking. God damn it! Why am I blanking on? You know who I'm talking about.
I 100% know who
I
you're
can't remember his name right now, though.
Angels in the Outfield is also from the 90s.
Listen, Trouble with the Curve is a great fucking movie. It doesn't
Yeah,
need
it is.
amazing actors for it to be a great movie.
It had amazing actors in it. I don't know what you're talking
I
about.
can't remember his name. He's a Gran Torino, like he's the old grumpy man. But I just.
Clint Eastwood?
Yes. I don't know his daughter's name. I don't know that lady. I know I've seen her and
Matt
stuff.
Elsa. It also had JTT in it.
I don't know.
No, not JTT. Justin Timberlake.
Did it really?
Yeah, he was like one of the main 3 characters in the movie.
It's been like a decade since I've seen it, but that's how good it was that I still remember it.
And then it had John Goodman in it. And it had Shaggy.
He did have Shaggy, who runs his own distillery. You see that?
Yeah.
He also
that apparently is trying to be towards D&D.
which he has a D&D podcast that he does, which has a ton of followers. I think it's the 3rd most watched D&D.
Well, yeah, just because he's a famous actor, of course it does.
I mean, yeah, but he's using it. He's using something that he likes to do. Because I've seen the episodes, like, he really likes the game, right? Like, he enjoys it. He knows what he's doing. They're pretty good. I mean, you can only watch D&D so much.
42 is the best baseball movie, hands down. I'm going to disagree.
I don't even know what that is.
I believe it's the Jackie Robinson story.
Oh. I mean, good for him.
Moneyball
was really good.
The best baseball movie. Well, there's 2 of the best baseball movies that you guys haven't even talked about yet.
Is it because it's an old movie and you're super old because you're old?
They are old, but they're still really good. One actually had Kevin Costner in it, and it was Bull Durham.
Never
Ever seen Bull Durham?
Nope.
Bull Durham's real good.
Wouldn't even know how to spell that.
Oh, you should watch Bull Durham.
I mean, okay.
It's about a pitcher in a minor league team, and he's like this young upcoming pitcher, and then Kevin Costner's this old like catcher who's in the show and comes back to help coach him, but like be the catcher at the same time.
All right, sounds good.
And the other one is Major League, and there was 3 of them.
I don't know.
Never saw Major League either? Oh, they're good baseball movies. Good. Like, probably the best.
I want another hockey movie.
I would like. Miracle is really...
I just saw that one for the first time, actually, a couple months ago.
Really? That's such a good...
I was really impressed with just how that did.
Kurt Russell did...
Well, yeah.
Kurt Russell did it. He's just... I did not know they made 2 Benchwarmer movies.
The Benchwarmer.
More than enough. One was more than enough.
Those are so... I hate movies like that, but I love them at the same time, you know?
Yeah.
We recently just rewatched Super Troopers 2. Super Troopers as well. I had not the second one at work, and I forgot how bad that movie is. We had to turn it off halfway. It was like...
Watch what?
Super Troopers.
You had to turn it off because it was so bad?
Yeah.
Super Troopers is fucking hilarious.
I know. I was at work. Like, I can't watch that kind of movie at work.
Oh, like bad.
Bad, yeah.
Inappropriate.
Yes.
Got it.
Like, it was like the scene when they were like the cuckold couple in the car, and they're
yeah.
It was like click.
But you could watch the Slam and Salmon at work.
I could. It's just not that good, man. It's
Oh,
good.
it's so fucking fun.
Beer Fest is better. It is.
Probably. But there's just so many good one-liners from
there is.
Slam and Salmon. Meat drapes. Why doesn't it sound like that when I say it?
Beer Fest is my favorite. I love Super Troopers, but I love Beer Fest. I don't know why. And then I saw Hunchback, or whatever the newest one they just came out with.
I haven't seen that one.
Maybe not Hunchback. Maybe it's called some Quasi. I think it's called Quasi. It's not bad. It's not great.
They did the TV show too, like Seattle Fire or something like that.
Was that them? That was them.
It's only 2 of them.
Yeah.
But that's pretty funny too.
Have you seen Sirens? It's an EMS show, and it's fucking hilarious. And like 9 out of the 10 calls that they have been on, I have been on at this point, including last week, is an old lady whose life alert went off. And they tried calling her. There was no response. So we just assume, okay, we're going to have to go, see what's up. Knock on the door, nothing. So we break into the house. Usually I go through the back door, sliding glass doors, lift them up, slide them over, in. And we saw this 70-plus-year-old woman getting railed.
Nice.
And you're just like, oh, shit. And she freaks out, and then just like, your life alert. And she's like, oh, I'm so sorry, dearie. And I'm like, Get the fuck out of here. Oh, no worries. Have a good day.
That sounds terrible. All right. Well, we are at time. It has been
What a good story to end us off with.
an hour. Yep. 70-year-olds getting railed. Gives us hope.
At least she's getting laid.
Exactly. So, any final words of confidence for the people that you have to share?
No. Just
No?
go and do your thing, man. Find your thing and do it.
Yeah. Take the risk. Be smart about it, but take the risk, because you will be amazed at how many people that you work with and know and are doing things that really don't have any fucking idea what they're doing, but they're pretending to do it because they have the confidence in
With
themselves that they'll
confidence.
fucking figure it out.
Yeah, and
That's how you can make a good life for yourself.
usually they do figure it out, too. Is the cool, kind
Yep.
of crazy thing. They do figure it out, so...
So, all right. Well, I appreciate you all so much. Thanks for stopping by. This has been the Sammy's and Beer podcast with myself and Tomas. Thomas has got his cock in his hand, and so we are going to have to end the show because that's obviously inappropriate. So, thank you all so much for stopping by. We will catch you back here better than ever next week on the Sammy and Beer podcast.
Bad boy.
Toodles.
Bye.